This is the Sell Your Brand Show with James Bray and Mike Killen, the one-stop shop for creative solopreneurs and startups to get the best practical advice on how to build, how to brand, and how to sell online products and content. Let's get to it. Hey guys, this is James from Brand Snack.
And I'm Mike from Sell Your Service.
And this week, we're going to be looking a little deeper into the psychology behind branding and how to actually make your brand addictive.
Yeah.
So, Mike, you right, mate? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, man. Yeah, really good. Last night, I interviewed Sunny Lenarduzzi.
Mate, really?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah?
So, for those who don't know, Sunny Lenarduzzi is like the queen of YouTube video, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's got some really great stuff out there.
And like so pragmatic, and I was chatting away to her, and she was crazy busy, so she could fit in like 45 minutes with me, which was awesome.
Wow.
But I could have just spoken to her for hours and hours and hours. In 2 years, with just one video a week, she's grown her YouTube channel to 111,000 subscribers.
That's insane.
Yeah, so my YouTube channel...
Just one a week?
Yeah, one video a week. My YouTube channel has been around longer than hers, and she's got 111,000.
Wow.
I'm just fractionally behind that,
just fractionally.
183 subscribers. So
well,
just
maybe you should do 2 a week.
Yeah. But so basically she was talking about, it was actually for the WP Elevation podcast.
Yep.
But just fucking unreal.
Mate, that's
really
incredible.
good. Yeah.
How has she made it into like that many subscribers just doing one video a week?
First of all, she focused on like she basically says that once you've recorded the video that you're only half done. The next part of your job is to optimize your videos as hard as you can.
Okay.
And make sure that you remember that YouTube is a search engine.
Yep.
So you have to optimize your videos, make sure that they're constantly ranking at the top. Use your customers and understand what they want to hear about, and your audience, and understand what they want to hear about. And yeah, she basically consistently published one video every single week. Yeah, that was about it. I think the quality of her content is incredible. Her first things was just like a little Rode lav mic and the C920 that we talked about.
Yep.
In fact, she's giving that away at the moment. There's a competition where you can win one. But yeah, just very, very cool. Yeah, it's all about consistency and making sure that you're pushing out something once a week and optimizing it after that. And then sharing it, like doing everything you can to share it.
Yeah.
Like creating the content's only like one half of the battle.
Yeah.
You got to promote it.
I found that with everything. Like you do spend a lot of time creating content, but then you can forget to actually put it under people's noses. That's the main thing. There's no point in having like a shitload of content if no one knows it's there.
Yeah.
So I completely understand it. Look, just out of interest, how long are her videos usually?
They range. I think some of them are about 5 to 10 minutes long.
Okay.
I'm actually going through her course now on how to build a successful YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna really look at that because I've got some ideas for some stuff that I want to do.
Cool.
But yeah, they're not crazy long or anything. She also said, get straight to the point. I mean, the interview will be out soon, but get straight to the point. She said, there's nothing worse than a 30-second intro title and then people doing that thing like, hey guys, Mike here from YouTube. If you like this, remember to subscribe, leave a comment. But it's like, just get to the fucking point. She said often people will be like, if I fixed how to fix your car, like my Peugeot recently, I had to fix the stereo, and there was a YouTube video not only specifically for my model of Peugeot, but for my model of the stereo that I'd bought that I was going to fit inside the Peugeot. Like, there's so much out there. Yeah,
how ridiculous
I was like,
is that?
Ka-ching. So I was like, this is awesome. The YouTube video not only knew more than the guy at Halfords, but
that's not surprising.
Yeah, but she said, exactly. But she said what a lot of videos will do will be like, they'll talk about why this is important. So if we talk about stuff like marketing funnels, marketing automation, branding, they'll often start with, look, it's really important to ... And she's like, people know that. They know it's important because they're searching for it. Just get to the point.
Yeah,
like a lot of people think they've got to drag out the video to keep the viewing. She said that's not true. That's incorrect. Otherwise you'll get drop off and stuff. So yeah, a lot of really interesting pieces about video and stuff. And she's been on TV, and amazingly, because she's got a little playlist, and I said this to her, like the playlist is her stuff that she's done on TV.
Okay.
And I was like, the people who interviewed you should have watched your videos. Like the people who run these TV stations need to learn something from you. And she said, well, actually, it's funny you should say that. Recently, she's been called up and she started consulting on this kind of stuff.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so she basically says, look, if you want to stand out from your competitors and start being seen as this genuinely powerful business, even if you're one person and you're doing just WordPress websites, start creating video content. Very cool person.
Hers is the name that always crops up whenever I look into video content, and whenever I look into improving it and getting something started. It's her at the top of the list. So, mate, that's incredible.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good
Really
fun.
good.
How you doing, man?
All right, mate. I basically sat in my pants and drank some tea. That's what I've done.
I sort of wish you'd put on clothes before coming over.
No. It's raining, and I still didn't care, Mike.
It is raining.
Still didn't care.
Yeah.
Suck it up.
Okay.
Right.
Desperate to move into the podcast.
Please, let's start talking about some branding.
We'll edit that. It's interesting when I saw this come up. So we use Quip as our thing, and I saw this come up. I'm really excited to talk about this because I think the concept of an addictive brand is easier to reach than people realize.
Yes, it is.
So yeah, I'm kind of excited to just jump into it. This is your wheelhouse, really, and I know that this episode is kind of going to become the framework for a lot of what Brand Snack does, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Brand Snack's ideal is to get to a place where everything is grounded in psychology and habit and addiction, that whole kind of the kind of motivational triggers, the rewards, all of that, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
And how to physically do that and how to use your brand to do that, how to use your design, how to use your copy, how to use everything kind of that makes it up to achieve that kind of psychological aspect of it.
Yeah.
That's what I want to get to with Brand Snack, and that's what I want to teach because I feel it's so important. Branding in itself is very superficial.
Yes.
Unless it has that entire substance behind it of why you're doing something and what method and what results are you trying to achieve from it.
Yeah.
And psychology is the way to do that.
Yeah, and I think people use brands like Apple and Nike and Starbucks and stuff as examples of addictive brands, and I think that's quite alienating because those brands have done it correctly, but there's also a lot of examples of massive brands that haven't done it correctly. Like Burger King, I think it's a great example. Like I've asked this question a couple of times recently. Do you know the color of Burger King's logo?
Yeah, I remember you asked me that. I was like, yellow,
yeah, exactly.
blue,
like no one knows,
red,
like,
whatever.
Like they've missed the mark with so much stuff.
Yeah.
So, but then at the same time, smaller businesses, there's no reason. First of all, there's no reason why people listening to this won't become the next Apple or Burger King.
No,
maybe not Burger King, Apple or
let's not go for Burger
McDonald's.
King.
Let's go for McDonald's. Right. But there's also no reason why your stuff can't be addictive, why you can't be seen as this addictive personality, person, process, product, whatever it is. There could be something that you create that people crave and they want to become a part of, Yeah. It sounds dumb, but there are marketing processes and procedures that I am now habitually addicted to, and that is a product that someone's put out on the market,
Yep.
They've basically got the psychology of it right. And it's interesting. You talk a little about the physical side as well.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. So, man, where do we start with this?
All right. So addiction is usually seen as something bad. It's usually associated with drugs, with alcohol. It's usually something that people are seen to be doing to the detriment of themselves and their health. Now, that's not always true. It's just that's usually the mainstream media kind of cropping that up.
Yeah.
Addiction can also be incredibly good. You can be addicted to healthy food. You can be addicted to exercise, to travel, to learning, to any kind of creative aspect like painting, music.
Yeah.
You can be addicted to absolutely anything.
Yeah.
And there are two types of addiction. There are physical addictions. Now, this is actually when your body biologically can't function without a substance. So this is when like drug abuse comes into it. So nicotine, caffeine.
I like when people come into the office and go, "Oh God, I'm useless without my coffee," but what they're actually drinking is just sugar milk from Starbucks.
Yeah,
I love Starbucks.
I'm useless without my sugar.
Yeah, don't talk to me without my coffee. That's a triple foam extra caramel latte with extra whipped cream and sprinkles on top. I'm like, where the fuck's that? It's a half shot of coffee.
And to be honest, like that really moves us into our second point, psychological. What they're saying is I can't start my day without the habitual behavior.
Yeah, the routine. Yeah,
the routine of drinking that disgustingly awful drink.
I love it. Right, so this is absolutely true. The Starbucks that I go to in Exeter knows me so well now that they will not only recognise my order from my car pulling up,
Right.
but I'm given free cookies and
You get free cookies?
and muffins. Yeah,
And muffins?
and because I'm
coming with you next
I'm such a regular. I'm literally a regular customer. Like they know me by name.
3 times a day.
You
don't leave.
on a quiet day. Yeah.
Just sit outside in your car.
Yeah. But what's interesting is that first of all, people will go, "Oh, that's terrible!" Like that you go there all the time, or maybe you spend so much money. I kind of think they've obviously done something right for me to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, and I'm a massive fan of Starbucks anyway. I think their business model's outstanding. I think the way they train people and this kind of stuff, but they have absolutely created that reward loop for the addiction.
Yeah, they have.
I anticipate it. I feel good before I go there. And yeah, when I'm drinking that sugary caramel latte, watered down milk,
Oh, mate.
yeah, and I'm honestly, it's mad. And you kind of can't. I love it. Yeah. So yeah, like you said, there's a psychological side to it.
So yeah, you've got the physical side and you've got the psychological side, and the psychological side is a mental or an emotional attachment to a particular behaviour, a kind of a perceived need to use rather than an actual need to use in the physical sense.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, both physical and psychological addiction set off the same neural pathways in the brain.
Yeah.
So there's been studies done that people that are shown a picture of their ex experience the same pain receptors in their brain as if stubbing their toe or hurting any part
I think
of them.
mine was the equivalent of having my balls removed. That's my brain. My brain would light up like a fucking Christmas tree if I saw some of the pictures of some of my ex-girlfriends. Yeah, but it's interesting because, like you say, we live our experiences every day, and a lot of us are reliving those experiences every day. And these kind of habits and routines are a way for us to be able to do that, right?
Yeah,
that's like the manifestation of it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and branding comes into the psychological part. It can come into the physical part, but very, very rarely, to be honest.
Cigarettes really the only thing I can think of.
Cigarettes, and now with the legalization of marijuana in certain places, that I think will start to form.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Part of it, but basically, branding is all about the psychological part.
Yeah.
People can be addicted to absolutely anything. Doesn't matter. TV, books, video games, sports, whatever. Social media, people.
Yes.
I mean, to be honest, how many times have you seen someone standing at a bus stop, looking around, bored out their face, take out their phone and start scrolling through their Facebook feed?
Yeah.
No reason, no benefit,
Yeah.
no actual anything. But every time they've got nothing else to do to occupy them, Facebook gets whipped out just so they can scroll through it mindlessly.
Yeah.
That's an addiction.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
because you wouldn't do it otherwise. You do it because you're just like, I need to do it. I feel good when I'm doing it.
This is because part of this problem as well about building an addictive personality is capturing attention, and we're in this economy now where attention is milliseconds. Like you said, people can be standing. I remember we went to see Bryan Adams a couple of months ago.
Oh, yeah.
And it was an amazing gig. He's absolutely
Still got
outstanding. Yeah, just unbelievable. Like, that is a man who knows how to play live music, and his band were just outstanding.
Mate, I remember when he was #1 in the UK for what, like
46
20
weeks or something. It was something mental.
It was ridiculous.
He took
week.
it off. He took it off
He
because he was sick of playing it. He was literally sick of it. He was like, I'm not doing this anymore. But he did play that.
Now that's addiction. Seriously, that's
right,
like,
because people couldn't get enough.
That's
of it.
population addiction to that.
But what was interesting is that it was quite an expensive, gig to get to. You're seeing someone who's, one of the greats, and people whipping out their phones, checking Facebook. I was like, what is wrong with you? And this is part of the problem, is that people are addicted to novelty and seeing something new.
Most definitely.
And not committing to anything. So I believe that our job is to create something that is more addictive than novelty, and which is creating like habit and routine and stuff, because I think people crave that more.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're absolutely right. People, and that's what you're fighting against, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And you know when you're addicted to something if you get withdrawal symptoms. Now, this is not you kind of sitting in a corner and shaking.
Yeah.
This is all about, you kind of get a feeling of like unease if
Yeah.
you're not doing it. You're not satisfied with what you're currently doing.
Yeah.
You may be kind of feeling a bit anxious.
Yeah.
Or you're distracted thinking about this other thing than what you actually are currently involved in or what you're doing.
I've been told that the best measure of this is the first thing you do instinctually when you wake up.
Oh, yeah.
Is pretty much what you're addicted to. 99% of us reach for our phone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And there's no reason to.
No.
Like we kid ourselves. We go, no, I'm just going to check on ourselves. Why?
I change nappies. Not because I want
addicted
to.
it. Even going around and finding people who, it's not your kids. You're just addicted
I
to
just sleep on their front doorstep until I hear the babies
Can
cry.
can I change your kids' nappies? No, James. We've told you this
Leave
before.
our family alone.
Leave our family alone. Yeah. But I've been told that whatever you wake up to, that's what you're addicted to.
Yeah.
That's the thing you have a problem giving up.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. So how are addictions actually formed? Now, there are kind of three parts to this. The first part is actually motivating someone to do something.
Yeah.
This then basically makes them behave in a certain way. And then you have to give them a reward to reinforce that behavior.
Yeah.
And that then becomes on a kind of repetitious loop.
When they begin anticipating that reward.
Yeah.
And then doing the action to get that reward, even if they don't know. So when they first do it, they don't know that that's the reward. Feeling high, getting the sugar rush, whatever that thing is, that chemical release, probably dopamine in the brain.
Yeah.
They then start doing that instinctively, kind of like a bit like Pavlovian conditioning kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, like you say.
I think I can see where this is going now, yeah.
So the beginnings of it, you don't know that what the reward actually is. You might have like a general idea, but you don't actually know how it will make you feel. So that's where the motivational side of it can be very tricky to start off that loop.
Yeah.
But then once they do that, they do the behavior, they get the reward, and then that reinforces that behavior.
Yeah.
Then the reward becomes the motivation. And it keeps looping around like that.
Interesting.
And that's the power of it. And when you do that, and you constantly recycle, that's when habits are formed, and that's when you get addicted to doing something.
Yeah.
So rewards are made up of two things, both wanting and liking.
Okay.
And usually you will want and like something to the same degree. So let's take chocolate for an example. People want chocolate because they like the experience of eating it.
Yeah.
And how it makes them feel, how it tastes, all of that. So in equal measure, that's the loop of that. People will eat more chocolate because they like it, and they will want it more again because they like it, because they want to get that same reward of liking it. That will keep going round. That's why people devour chocolate.
Yeah.
So that loop needs to start becoming in place.
Yep.
And there are two types of motivations / rewards. There are intrinsic and extrinsic. So
that sound is the man who does
like
a
pursing of lips to me.
Who does not know what intrinsic and extrinsic means. Yeah.
Stop staring blankly at the wall, Mike.
Clearing up the dribble that I've just. Okay, so what's intrinsic and what's extrinsic?
Okay, so intrinsic are the things that are naturally pleasurable to do. So they're completely intangible, and they come from within us as people. Okay. So you do something purely because you love doing it.
Sure.
Only reason.
Okay. Yeah.
So some people draw because they just love drawing.
Yeah.
They don't do it for any other reason. They just love the act of doing it. So it's all about that's the liking part.
Yeah.
So intrinsic rewards are those that you like, that bring joy, that bring happiness, that bring pleasure. Just off the act of doing that particular behavior.
Yeah.
Extrinsic rewards and motivations are associated pleasures.
Yeah.
So you do something other than for the love of doing it. So you do it because there is money involved.
Yeah.
So money in itself, you don't love money.
Yeah.
Nobody loves money. You love what money can do for you.
Sure.
You get a certificate. So say you do well at school and you want your A grade.
Yeah.
So nobody loves an A grade. No, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
But the associated pleasure of getting an A grade means that you've perfected something.
That's interesting.
Also prizes in competitions.
Yeah.
Status, if you want more status, if you want more influence within a community, you want more attention from people, or you want more recognition from people that you care about, whose opinions you're getting.
Yeah.
All of that doesn't have to do with liking
Yeah.
and just for the joy of doing something. That's all to get a certain result. So intrinsic is all about you loving doing something just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Extrinsic is all about another reason why you're doing something to get a certain result. And usually, not many people do things for intrinsic value, especially when it comes to businesses and companies and the products and services that they sell. They always want a particular result.
Yeah.
So a lot of their motivations and a lot of the rewards that they're going to be getting are extrinsic.
Interesting.
So yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's basically that.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think a lot of us maybe kid ourselves into thinking that we do it because we love it. But maybe if we looked a little bit deeper, it is because of probably status or money.
Yeah.
Which is not necessarily a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
But really I can now begin to see places where I look forward to opening their email or using their product because I assume it will help me, get that thing.
Yeah, do about. Something. Yeah, make your life easier.
That's interesting.
Make your life better.
Yeah, it's interesting that. It seems quite obvious when you think about it.
So as a reward, there are 3 basic functions of a reward.
Yep.
The first is to affect decision making and entice someone to start doing a particular behavior.
Yeah.
So almost as a motivator. The second is to make someone behave in an actual certain way, a way that you want them to.
Yeah.
So you need to think about how that motivation, how that reward will make someone behave, how you can implement that within your communications, within your messaging to make someone start doing something.
Yeah.
And the third, which is where I really love the kind of idea of this, is to foster positive emotions in someone. The more that you can foster positive emotions in someone, the more that it will kick off that dopamine loop. And the more that they will start coming back and they want more and more and more.
Interesting. Yeah.
And the last point on rewards, they must be immediate to the behavior that happens. Any length of delay in that reward happening reduces its effect.
Yeah.
For example, so a content upgrade, something simple. Someone clicks on it and they want that content upgrade. They need to get that immediately. As soon as they click it, that needs to be delivered to their inbox. They need to consume it. That's when they know that, brilliant, that's really good. I'm going to go for other things that they do now because I know that they deliver. And that's the loop of, I need help. I've requested help. I get help. So that's the last part of.
Yeah, and it's also sort of in some ways rewarding the risk as well. There's like an affirmation. They went, "Oh, that was the right decision to make. That was the right thing to do because I now do have this coming back to me." Yeah, man, this is really interesting, and it's easy to see, frankly, how almost any business. I'm trying to think that I think at the moment that I think. Digital marketer for me is a great example of a brand that does this.
Yep.
Like I want to open their emails. I'm constantly trying to check in and be a part of that. Well, I don't think we've got time necessarily to go over it in this episode, but I think community is a massive part of this as well.
Agree.
And I think we'll probably come on to that another time because I certainly now WP Elevation's had another launch and they've had however many 200-300 people come in.
That's
and
insane.
It's
that is insane considering their products. What, $1.5-2 grand?
1,500 and then an upsell of 300, maybe something like that.
Is it?
Yeah, so it's about $2 grand a piece. Yeah,
that's insane.
Plus $97 a month.
Plus
Well, after a year, yeah.
To get like 200-300 people onto that.
5,700 leads in the last 37 days or 31 days. Yeah, it's insane. Wow. Yeah, they're absolutely smashing it out.
They are, aren't they?
And it's because they understand a lot of this stuff about being addictive and understanding what it's like to be a part of it. And the community is a big part of it. You know, I think they're addicted to the content first, and then what gets people to stay is their addiction to the community. Yeah, because they reinforce a lot of those habits and stuff, and things that we believe. in the same way that it's really hard to break away from, if you use a lot of drugs, it's very hard to break away because it's actually the community that you're leaving. That's usually, I believe, what the problem is.
You know what? That's true. I mean, like, take people that drink too much.
Yeah.
It's usually because they go down the pub, they enjoy the atmosphere of drinking with people, and what usually happens is that they will come home and they will start getting withdrawal symptoms from that environment, from that atmosphere. So they drink at home to try and regain that atmosphere by themselves. Yeah. And that's the loop of that happening.
Yeah. So yeah, very interesting, man. Really good. What's next? What do we talk about next then?
Okay. So we now know how addictions are formed.
Yep.
We now know the types of addiction.
Yeah.
And we know that motivation leads to behavior, leads to reward, and that loop needs to happen for an addiction and a habit to form.
Yeah.
So what I want to go into now is a few points, 15.
Lock the doors, please. Yeah.
Mike?
Yeah.
Mike?
Yeah.
That you can start implementing within your brand and your business to start making it more addictive.
Yeah.
And it all boils down to making your audience feel good.
Yeah.
That at the end of the day, that is it. It's about making them happy and making them want more of that happiness.
Yeah.
And again, we say this pretty much every single episode. You need to know what your audience want.
Yeah.
And you need to know what your audience like. And you need to research into that. You need to be specific. You need to get down into exactly how they put it, how they think about it, how they feel about it.
Yeah.
Only then can you do anything to make your brand and your business addictive to them.
Yeah.
That's so vital, so important.
Yeah, and this is the thing this is when people really like the idea of doing this, I think, but when it comes to practice, it is about being specific about who you go after. You can't be addictive to a general population.
No.
You have to find 10% of your audience in general. So that's already being specific about having an audience, and only 10% of them you want to try and, because that's all you're going to be able to get. People who are just going to want to consume everything you put out, you know.
Yeah.
I think Sunny Lynn Arduzzi, coming back to, is an amazing example. In 2 years, from literally nothing, she said she had an email list of like 100 people, and most of them were like friends and family.
Yeah.
She grew to 111,000 people because people became essentially addicted to her videos. They wanted to consume more and find more, you know.
Yeah. And there are probably, within these 15 points, there are probably a lot of things that she's used to create that sense of addiction, to create that loop. So let's get into it. Okay. So first one, surprise them with the unexpected or unusual.
Yeah.
Now that doesn't mean you need to start showing them weird things. like don't scare the shit out of them.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's all about going where your competitors don't.
Yeah.
And over delivering in that.
Yeah.
So if your competitors don't tell them anything, teach them more for free.
This is like, to me, this is actually the easiest thing to do.
Yep.
Because your competition are telling you what they won't do. 99% of them, no matter what industry you are in, is creating some kind of content. They just don't want to do it. But to then over deliver, and to talk about something that's maybe they weren't expecting.
Yep.
Very, very easy thing, I think, to identify and write about.
Yeah, there are usually a lot of things that your audience like and want that your competitors don't want to help with. Yeah. And if you do that, that's the most simple first step to becoming addictive.
Yeah.
Give them something no one else will or no one else can.
Yep.
Okay, so step 2, energize, excite, and motivate them. So you can do this through your enticing color schemes on your website.
Yep.
You can do this through building anticipation with the messaging that you put out and the communications that you put out.
Yep.
And you always want to show them the ideal, the place that they can get to by consuming your content, by using your products and services.
This is to me what I try to do more than anything is try to motivate people.
Yep.
Be fairly straight talking. not take a lot of shit. Like there's a lot of excuses that people will give, and I think I try not to allow people to do that. But motivating people to do stuff, to me, I think is how you can build massive levels of addiction. I think Tony Robbins is a good example of this.
Yes.
Someone who just, people want to go there to become motivated, and that's actually what they've become addicted to, you know?
Yeah. I also think that the term motivation and motivated has been overused and diluted.
Yeah, it has, yeah.
Like when you're at work, you get like a review and someone's like, you're not very motivated at work.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I got all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
me too.
Well, yeah, true.
Yeah.
But what they mean is you're not very motivated at doing the work we have tasked you to do.
Yeah.
Motivation can only happen for a particular form of behavior or action.
I also think it can only come from within. I actually think, I don't think people can motivate you.
No.
I think you have to accept what they're saying and then motivate yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think a lot of people feel that they can have someone else like motivate them to do it, and I don't think that lasts long.
No, it doesn't.
If at all.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I used to get those same write-ups. Like, you're not very motivated. It's like, I don't. What used to upset me about that is I used to think, well, there must be something fundamentally wrong there, because I'm happy to go home, go to the gym, work out, clean the house, tidy up, cook, write, play video games, create all this stuff. There's probably something wrong with how you're presenting it to me then, because I'm quite a motivated person. I used to
That's
get
it. It's completely different, isn't it? Someone says you're not motivated.
Yeah.
That shouldn't make you feel rubbish in yourself as though you're like literally a lethargic, horrible mess sitting on the sofa.
Yeah.
That's just, you're not motivated at that one particular thing.
Yeah.
Probably because it doesn't interest you and it bores the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
But you're motivated in everything else that you do in life.
Yeah.
So always be particular in it, that if you're trying to motivate someone, you're trying to motivate someone to do a specific action or a specific behavior.
Yeah.
But yeah, showing them the ideal and basically giving them reason to carry on and consume your content is really, really important. Number 3, giving them a sense of self-worth, achievement, and pride.
Yep.
So you can do this pretty easily by featuring them in testimonials that you put up on your website. Within your community, if you shout out about them, put them on a pedestal. And make sure that you're constantly progressing them into something better.
The reason I like this reward is because it's the easiest one to show off to other people.
Yes.
So if I reward someone by promoting them, getting them to do a guest blog post or testimonial or something, that's easier for me to show other people, look, this is one of the rewards that you can get, because people want that kind of public recognition, I like that one a lot, and I go for it all the time. I'm constantly trying to find that reward from people that I work with, I like that one a lot.
Cool. Number 4, give them confidence in themselves and in their ability to either do something they want to do or be someone they want to be. Now, how to do this is by making things really clear and easy. Literally step by step. Make it so that anyone can do it. Don't convolute it. Don't make it complex. If they can follow along and they can see step by step incremental progress into something that their ideal is, then they will become addicted to that.
This is quite a pragmatic one as well, I think.
It is.
It's probably quite a good place to start for those who are kind of starting out with this. I agree. This is a good one. I like that.
So make someone smarter, make someone more beautiful if you're in the makeup industry or hair industry, make someone more healthy if you're in the fitness industry, make someone more of what they ideal and what they desire to be or do. Number 5, identify and empathize with their pains. So show them that you actually understand their troubles. Answer the questions that they have before they actually even ask them. If they have to ask, then usually
that's interesting.
You've kind of missed a step.
So
this is where I find a really good example is on sales pages. So you read through and you cover off all the, what word am I looking for?
Well, the pain points, the roadblocks,
the objections.
So you turn the objections
even before they've had to ask them. So even before it's come to them in their mind, you've already registered and you've already actioned on it. That's good. We've got someone doing some kind of scaffolding work.
Is that my neighbour doing scaffolding?
That's amazing.
All right.
So yeah, if you can get in there beforehand and show them that you completely understand
Yeah.
what they're trying to do and what they're having issues with,
Yeah.
then they will be drawn to you a lot more so.
Yeah, this is so I believe that people identify the majority of us, the problem we have is that whatever we're trying to run, whether we're a course, an agency, whatever, and typically the majority of the people listening to this have got some kind of online course. You believe that people are looking for a better version of themselves, and I don't think that's true a lot of the time. I think what people are looking for is a cure for their symptoms and their pains.
Yep.
They will recognize a pain and a symptom much faster than where they want to be. But this sale is made when you show them what they can be. So it starts with identifying the pains, talking about themselves, talking about their problems. Misery loves company. You know, these are really easy sales letters to write like this when you just write about all the problems that someone's got.
Yep.
And then when you begin to talk about that afterwards of what they do want to be, that's when they begin to make the sale internally in their head.
Yep.
And that loop of twisting, constantly moving, like the easiest way in the world to make a sale is to say, it sounds like you've got this symptom, but you want to be this future version of yourself. Does that sound about right? They go, yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly it. That's what doctors use, and that's what doctors use to prescribe stuff, and that's what people can use to sell stuff. So identifying their pains,
Yeah.
absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
That's because like someone's pain is so integral to their life. They understand every part of it.
Yeah.
An ideal version of themselves they have no experience
Yes,
of.
yeah,
So they
yeah,
can't
yeah.
relate to that. It's kind of like an ethereal like goal.
Yeah, it
like,
is, yeah.
sort of persona.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so number 6, relieve them of their stresses and discomforts. So once you know what their pains are,
Yeah.
you need to take that away from them.
Yes.
So that's giving them solutions to their actual problems, not what you think their problems are. And there's a big difference in that. And I think a lot of businesses get that wrong, mainly just down to the lack of not listening to their audience.
Yeah. Yeah, there's an interesting balance there because there's also like a lot of my customers believe that not getting enough traffic to their website is their problem.
Yeah.
And I actually do know that that's not their problem. Having said that, the reason I know that is because I listen to really what their symptoms are. It's the difference between the symptom and what the disease is.
Yeah.
So, you know, you tell me that you've got a headache all the time, blurred vision, scratchy eyes, and a runny nose. You might then think, oh, it's because I'm allergic to something. As a doctor, if I've listened to you correctly, I can correctly diagnose that. And that's what I think this is trying to get at, is if you listen to what their symptoms are, you can identify what the disease is, as opposed to listening to necessarily what they think it is. But it has to come from the symptoms that they are experiencing.
Yes, listen to the symptoms. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like you say, not listening to what they think is what they need.
Yeah.
You need to come at it from your expert point of view.
But it has to come from listening to identifying what their symptoms
Yes.
are. And that is a really common problem, is I hear a lot of people going, oh, well, you're probably experiencing, you know, this problem and we can fix that with remarketing. Like, you haven't really listened to what they're suffering from then, because that's not the problem that they've really got. So that to me is how I try and divide that up, because it's a really common problem.
Yeah. Number 7, make their lives better through kindness without asking in return. So this is basically, the more that you give away for free up front, the more loyal someone will become, and the more they will want more from you. Yeah. Just be kind.
Yeah.
That's literally it. Help people.
Yeah.
Number 8, respect, appreciate, and value them. So treat them right, don't rip them off, don't con them or abuse them. Be completely fair to them and have a conversation with them. Don't lecture them.
Yeah.
It's all about just being a decent human being and treating them as decent human beings as well. It's not big wild ideas.
No, it's
quite
weird, isn't it?
concrete
It is
and
really
grounded.
like, the idea is that they should be able to see a friend in you.
Yeah.
You know?
I was just about to sing Toy Story then.
Who's the guy who wrote that? That's going to kill me now. I 100% have to look that up. Andy something? No, that's the name of the kid, isn't it?
That is the kid.
Song writer. Ah, mate, I have to look this up now.
Do it. Go on.
Randy Newman.
There we go, Randy Newman.
Oh, thank God for that.
Let's not play it. I'll try and edit it in.
Just put it in now.
Just 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Ranting it.
But only that first line.
Yeah.
Just that first line
Over and over again.
for 4 minutes. Yeah. Good. So welcome back. I'm sorry you had to listen to that for 4 minutes. But yeah, that it is. I think a lot of people are looking for that friend, that person that they can talk to about this kind of stuff. You know, that's a big deal to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, exactly. Number 9, make them happy. So entertain them with novelty and humour. We're all human. At the end of the day, you need to use your tone of voice, your copy, your imagery, and in all of your communications with your audience to make them smile.
Yeah.
That's all we want to do. We just want to feel happy. We want to get those endorphins and that dopamine going. And if you don't do that, then you're instantly turning people off.
Yeah.
People may use you for a particular reason, but they won't remember you and they won't come back to you.
Yeah.
If you make the happier you make someone, and humor is hugely important. It doesn't have to be kind of like really bad, like knock jokes.
No, it's not. This is the thing is, I can't remember now the name of it. I remember reading a post and thinking the guy clearly is trying to be funny. Right. It just came across as really contrived. And I was like, don't worry about it. And like you said, it's not about writing comedy articles. No. But naturally, there are things that we find funny, and there are things that in our circle of friends we all joke about. And I believe that that's the type of stuff that you should be okay to drop in. Yeah. A lot of my blog posts have got Simpsons references and really obscure ones as well. Like there's a lot of the stuff I don't like, people would never be able to get. But that to me is almost irrelevant because it's also, frankly, it's easier to write when you're willing to have fun like this. The big problem we always had with kind of the corporate stuff is that they were like against having a personality. You know?
They really are, because the thing is, when you have a personality, you're going to polarize.
Yes.
And big corporations don't want to polarize.
No, they don't, do they?
But you don't get anywhere if
Successful
you don't
ones
polarize.
do.
Successful ones really do, yeah. But the ones that we work for.
They had no interest in polarizing people.
No, because they wanted everyone to like them.
Yeah.
And again,
the irony, of course, is end up knowing no one likes you.
Exactly.
But, I think that's just humor is one of the ways that you can kind of show off a bit of personality. You know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe humor is the wrong word. Maybe kind of more like sort of wit.
Well, I think it's I actually think it's whatever writing style you find suits you.
Yeah.
Some people like Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yes.
Is crazy, like doesn't take any shit, believes in you, is hardcore. None of his stuff has made me laugh, but it's really true to who he is, and people identify with that. Whereas Ryan Dice, I think, is actually quite a funny writer. He's got some comedic chops, that guy. So some of his jokes and things, they do land. Even though he's talking about marketing files, who the fuck finds that funny? So there's a lot of stuff depending on your writing style that you. Whatever's easier for you to write with, that's what people are going to identify with. Some people like Stephen King because they like really shit writing. I don't really like Stephen King.
I've never read any Stephen King.
It's honestly, it's
probably a reason.
It's fun. Some of it's fine, but he's one of those guys that like will spend a chapter describing the door. Like,
oh wow!
James reached for the door. The handle was brass. The handle was bought 5 years before the house was built, and I'm like, oh my god, get on with it! Like he's crazy over descriptive, and it makes very very difficult reading, in my opinion. Some people say it draws out tension. I'm like, well, yes.
There's a difference between drawing out tension and
a 25-year wait is not tense. So write with whatever's, or create content with whatever style you want to put across.
Yeah, exactly. Number 10, satisfy them by delivering on your promises and their expectations.
What a mad idea!
I know. Crazy.
What a mental idea!
Shouldn't even put that one in there.
Yeah. I like as well that number 11 is going to completely contradict this.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But just know what they expect of you. Do it and do it more.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. Very simple. But then 11, inspire them with new ideas and fresh outlooks.
Mental, new, weird, wacky ideas like deliver what you promised.
Exactly.
Mental. Yeah.
So you're obviously in the business, in your industry, to do something. But you also need to be a source of knowledge around your topic. Like let's say you teach people how to bake. We always come back to that for some reason on this show. Maybe because Bake Off was on last night and my wife was watching it.
And
But
you
yeah.
were watching it.
And
I
I was
don't
watching
watch
it.
this kind of shit. I will do anything I can. I'm lucky. Liv hates that kind of stuff.
Really?
She fucking hates it. So I consider myself very lucky. We watch other weird programs about like running and stuff. She's obsessed with it. The thing I don't get about Bake Off is that no one on it is likable. Let's be honest. No one on it is likable. This is way off topic now. But people go, oh, but I love watching bloody Bake Off. Why? There's not a single person on it who I would hang out with them. No, none of them.
That's true.
They're all psychopaths.
The only reason I like it is because it gives me a reason to grab the biscuit tin, have a few biscuits without my wife going, why are you eating those?
Bake Off, innit?
You haven't even got a cup of tea.
Bake Off, innit?
It's Bake Off.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway.
So coming back to new and fresh ideas. Was that what, number 11? You're going to somehow bring this back to baking somehow?
Yeah, I know. How did that happen?
Right. You said, you got to be a
source of knowledge
right.
around your subject. So if you teach baking, you will then also want to provide knowledge on cookery utensils and also maybe herbs and also like ingredients, and you like be literally the source of knowledge around your topic, everything about it, and you can help someone with becoming a more complete and more rounded expert in the field. Do it.
Yeah.
So know the trends within your industry and always be on top of them and always show that you're on top of them. And know the top golden examples of everything within your industry. So for me, for example, I always look for the best forms of design. So website design, packaging design, branding, everything. And I want to give people access to all of that and help them, because usually we don't see any of that unless someone points it out to us, an expert points it out to us.
And this is quite an easy. This is an easy way to be able to position yourself as an authority to your customers as well, is by being that font of knowledge. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's quite an easy thing to start doing as well.
Oh, it really is. All you need to do, find a good load of blogs within your industry.
Yeah.
Add them to your RSS feed.
Yeah. If only there was some sort of like search engine where you could just type in like a topic and it would just show you like the best results. I mean, I'm a dreamer, so there's number 11. There's a fresh idea. If people have got an idea of if there's a way to be able to do massive amounts of research in a relatively short space of time. But yeah, other than that, there's
We might have to build that, mate.
We'll go away and build that.
Yeah, we'll build that.
I'm thinking of a name like Bing or something. That's what I'd call it.
Bing.
Bing.
Yeah, for Bing.
That's what I'd call a massive search engine. I'd call it Bing. Fucking idiots. Right? So yeah, you go away, do some research, and this is what you're supposed to be. Yeah. Like you, and also the thing I don't like, I was having a conversation with someone about this the other day. I went to a networking event, and it was about 7:30 in the morning. This thing, right? It was a breakfast event. It was good fun, but there was a guy lecturing me about cryptocurrency.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, look, I've been in this industry for 33 years. Nothing to do with fucking finance, I might add. I don't know what he does. Something to do with security or something. I don't fucking know.
Right.
And he was talking to me about like cash and currency and money and stuff. And he was like, I used to speak on this stuff. And I was like, you used to speak on it 30 years ago. What you know is jack shit now. You know nothing.
Yeah.
4 minutes on Google would tell you that you are wrong.
Yeah.
So it's also important to, once you've learned stuff, to keep on top of that. Yeah. I think that becomes easier when you become focused on a particular area.
It does.
I think it's really hard because there is overwhelming sometimes, but very quickly you'll start to see patterns emerge. And we're actually going to talk about this next week about like focus and stuff and where to put your energy.
Cool.
But and like I said, it's a relatively easy thing for you to be able to do and put forward to your customers,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, retweeting is just like a whole way of doing that. Find blog articles that resonate with you and your audience and just keep firing them out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 12, captivate them. So trigger their senses. You can do this through your storytelling and through your brand look and feel. But branding in general is a complete sensory experience. And digital branding can only obviously go so far. So the stuff that we see, the stuff that we hear.
Yeah.
If you're outside of that, you can then go into the realms of touch, taste and smell.
Yeah.
people are addicted to McDonald's because of the way it tastes.
So did you know that they engineer the fries to dissolve as soon as they hit saliva?
Do they?
Yeah, that's basically one of their chemical engineering things, is that the temperature they're fried at and the way they starch them is designed so that when the fries hit your mouth, your saliva will instantly dissolve them. And
that's disgusting.
Well, that's part of this feedback, this sensory feedback loop that they literally have engineered into their products.
See, but that's incredible. It's disgusting, but it's incredible.
Yeah.
Because that sensory feedback you're going to get nowhere else, and then you become addicted.
That's what you begin to anticipate
to that.
Yeah.
And that's why you usually have like burger secret sauces and special sauces.
Right now.
Am I just like
desperate for McDonald's now? We're talking about them all morning.
We'll go after the show.
Yeah.
Or KFC, their secret blend of herbs for their chicken and stuff like that, and their particular taste.
Yeah.
So businesses that do food can go on the taste. You can become addicted to smells, so like perfumes and aftershaves.
Yeah, I've talked about that before.
And smell is the number one sense to bring back memory. I think it's like 35% of your senses are smell.
Yeah.
So that's incredibly important. And who was it? I think it was Apple have a certain smell to their boxes and their packaging.
Their cardboard and packaging is made with a certain thing. BMW have acoustics engineers, and Volkswagen for their doors and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's an enormous amount, behind this stuff. People talk about Starbucks again. Their coffee machines in places, they actually don't want them quieter.
Oh yeah,
because they want that noise.
Yep.
That noise triggers stuff
part
a lot
of the
of the
experience.
Time. Also, someone told me this recently. The coffee beans that you see in the grinder aren't always the ones that are actually ground up. Those are scented beads that look like coffee beans.
Are they?
Yeah, to give the smell of coffee. Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true in everywhere, but I've been shown that they're actually.
That's really interesting.
Not true. Yeah.
That's really interesting. Yeah. See, all part of the sensory experience. Yep. That's a visual thing and something for smell.
Yeah.
But has no rhyme or reason for anything else.
Yeah.
So it's all about sort of triggering their senses any way that you can.
Yep.
Number 13, urge them to explore, learn, understand, and better themselves. So teach them, always constantly teach them through your emails, through your blog, videos, your courses. At the end of the day, you want to make them the expert in what they do.
That to me is actually my end goal for all my guys, is I want them to outgrow me. Someone's even said, oh, well, because I've got a couple of my guys are just down the road. It's amazing. I've got this massive global business, and they're literally like, one's in Plymouth and one's in Exeter, which I love. Yeah. They'd never met me before as well, which is insane.
That's really insane.
And they said, oh, I don't want to tread on Mike's toes. I was like, I would fucking love if a customer said, we've decided to go with James or Carl, because they've got a better offer, we believe, and their budget is even higher than mine. I would love that. I would love to push a customer so far that they begin to outshine me.
Yeah.
That you're doing well then.
Well, yeah, exactly. You know what you're teaching is legit.
Yeah, I'd love that.
That's really cool. Number 14, give them the hope and belief that things can actually change for the better.
Yeah.
So it's not just this kind of carrot on a stick that you're never going to get. Give true examples of success, be specific, so case studies, social proof, and actual results of people that you've helped or that have used your products and services to become something better.
Yeah.
Number 15, we're on the last one.
Wow.
Build their anticipation. Anticipation is hugely important in that loop of motivation, behavior, and reward. Be timely. Be regular. So it needs to be consistently regular in your delivery. People need to understand that on this day of the week, this day of the month, this every hour every day, they're going to get something. And only by instilling that time scale, that consistent time scale, you're putting in that structure in place for a habit to form. So you need to build their anticipation that way.
And because a lot of people are scared of this. Again, Sunny Lenarduzzi, she says new videos every Tuesday. That's when she releases a new video, and she tells people that. She's very public about that. That's on her YouTube channel. She's committed to that. what's interesting to me is a lot of people don't want to commit to that.
No, they don't.
No. And I think actually that's the fastest way to begin to grow anticipation and to build habit. And if you want to beat the attention deficit monsters that we're all beating, then you should be telling people that every single Friday, that's when you'll get this new thing.
Yeah.
Every single Thursday, that's when you'll get this new thing.
Yeah, it's like we do with the show. Every single Monday, this comes out and people can listen to it.
Yep.
So yeah, they are the 15 ways that you can start using in your business and your brand today to start creating that addiction.
What I like about that is that those are all also like individual blog posts or pieces of comment in themselves.
Yeah.
You know? Kind of the way that you can split all of that out is a mini tactic and strategy in itself, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like that. That's
so
good.
Addiction is a huge part of creating a successful business model.
Yeah.
And a successful brand.
Well, I've noticed that a lot of my guys, my most popular content is my motivational stuff.
Yep.
And the stuff where I write about having to go at a customer. When I write, they're called Seinfeld stories, apparently, where I talk through a situation that happened and talk about why it went wrong and stuff, and some of the stuff that I, you know, and I'll put in like emails and stuff.
Yep.
And I'll show them, and people fucking love them.
That's brilliant
because they are brutal. They're ruthless.
What was that? There was the website that you showed me, which was fucking hilarious.
24B/7.
That's the one.
Yeah, David. I can't remember his name.
I have never read a more hilarious blog
We'll
post.
link that. Yeah, if you haven't read 24B/7, so that was missing Missy, the cat poster.
That was it. Yeah.
He's gone quiet for a while now.
He has.
He's very funny. Yeah, I like 24B/7. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, I'm going to make a note to link that in the notes because it's one of the most genius things I've ever seen in my life.
It's absolutely hysterical. Yeah.
But yeah, that's another thing. Like I became addicted to that very quickly.
Yeah.
I used to sit there at work just reading his blog posts rather than doing anything. My motivation for reading his blog posts was very high. Because they were genuinely funny.
Yeah.
And they done so much of those 15 points.
Yeah.
That they were captivating. But yeah, there we go. I hope that's helped you guys get a bit more understanding of how you can use addiction within your business to start creating more of loyalty amongst your customers and your audience.
Yeah, it's good, man. Well done.
Cool.
Very
Right.
good.
Should we move on to the content report?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, what's going on? What have you read? What have you been reading? I haven't seen this.
Yeah. Well, I've been going through a load of blogs recently to get inspiration for myself.
Uh-huh.
And I came across a really, really good site called form55.com. And it's basically a collection of different inspirational designs from around the world.
Yeah, I can see it here.
Split into things that you can read.
That's interesting.
Also based on like book covers and the designs of those. Things that you can watch. So looking at videos and anything animated. Things that you can listen to, so podcasts,
cool.
Music, and anything kind of like in that regard. Travel places, there's not too much on travel, but a couple of places of where good design and stuff is, and so things that look like desirable.
Yeah, that's cool. I like the look of this.
So yeah, it's just a really nice website to just have like a daily bit of inspiration of like, wow, that's incredible design, or wow, that's incredible music, or just something along those lines. And this comes back to another point of being a source of knowledge around the topics in your industry. And for me, it's all about finding incredible design, incredible media, incredible graphics, and all of that to then push out to my audience.
Yeah.
To just introduce them to it and to know what they can potentially achieve and the options that are out there.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
man.
yeah, form55.com. Really, really good website that I've come across. So yeah, I've just been kind of having a little check around on that.
Very good.
How about you, mate?
I have read 5,000 words per hour by Chris Fox, which basically aims to get your writing speed to 5,000 words an hour.
That's a lot.
It's just it's a huge amount.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I write for 2 hours every single day. It's interesting you talk about addiction. The reason I started doing that is because I wanted to write a book.
Yep.
Which I'm a bit annoyed, if I'm honest, that you haven't put that on your content report, because I did give you that to you last week and you haven't. That's not what you want. I'm assuming it'll be coming on next week's.
It's keeping my door open nicely, Mike. I don't want to leave. I don't want to take it away.
Propping up a table.
Because I don't want to take it away.
It's
Otherwise, my coffee will spill.
Exactly. It's on top of the toilet cistern as a balance for the Yankee Candle. Yeah, that's what you've used it for. Yeah, right. Okay.
I do plan to read it.
I'm getting that a lot, actually.
I did. Pictures of it on top of toilets.
Yeah.
Cheers, Mike.
Yeah. Propping up a desk.
Brilliant book.
Yeah, like I said, holding open a door. Yeah. Uses Kindle.
I did have a flick through, and the headings and stuff, and I think the flow of it is really, really good, and I can't wait to read it because I think the actual content that what you've got in there and the things that you go through. I'm serious. I am serious. I did have a flick through.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
Not going to read it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Not going to read it.
So anyway, the idea is at first it took me, I'd sit down for 2 hours and I'd maybe write 500 words, and it was just exhausting. And over time, I got up to about 2,000 words ish over 2 hours, and now it's about 3,000 words writing fluently. And this book, 5,000 words an hour, it's really interesting. It basically teaches you to write quantity over quality first. So focus on just writing. It's going to look like garbage, it's going to sound like shit. But the idea is that the faster that you get to 1 million words written, obviously not in one blog post, that's a fun Game of Thrones level. But the faster that you've basically got that out, the quicker that you'll get good.
Yep.
So it basically is focusing on it's kind of like the distance. They say in golf, it's better to learn how to hit straight than hit far first. So just getting it out there, just going, rather than focusing on the quality. A lot of people will write something and they'll keep editing it and going over it, but actually publishing it. And the faster you do that and just having this stream of conscious come out, the faster you're able to make that kind of connection work. Mm-hmm. It then talks about how to dictate, which in itself is a skill.
Yeah, definitely.
So I picked up Dragon Dictate, which I'm using now, and it's really interesting. It's an interesting skill to learn. I'm currently pushing. I haven't quite reached 5,000 words an hour, but I haven't got far off. I have done an 8,000 word blog post in 2 hours.
Wow, nice.
That's
really good.
That was hard work, and that was good, and that was when I was really in the zone. And it's like structuring it and breaking things down, and like you say with the book, I had 12 chapters, and each chapter had 30 sections, which would just give me the prompts to just write.
Yep.
So it's about breaking down the frameworks like that. Yeah, really interesting book by a guy called Chris Fox.
That sounds really good.
He's got a few things on writing and stuff. So yeah, it's interesting. It's good stuff.
I've read a lot of stuff like that before as well, actually, people giving that advice.
Yeah.
Of just literally throw anything down on the page.
Yeah.
Even if it's like talking into a dictaphone and talking nonsense.
Yeah.
Like talk nonsense for the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But once you start doing that, your brain starts clicking into gear, and then you start pumping out what you want to say.
We think that talking and writing is like going to be having a conversation, and we find we stall because the conversations are back and forth, and learning essentially to monologue, which is what it is very difficult. Where people get het up is they'll stop and they'll be like, I've got a brain pause, or now I don't know what to do, I'll go back to the beginning. And that's not what you do. You basically learn to just keep pushing through it, and you're right, eventually it becomes a skill you learn quite quickly, that you can just begin to just monologue stuff out. Just type it. Really, really good book. Interesting, really pragmatic.
That's cool.
It's kind of shifted my idea on what writing is, so that's good.
Nice, mate. I really
5,000 words of absolute shit for the past for the past 6 months of my blog, but it's just nonsense. Just absolute nonsense.
Read it. It's hilarious.
Yeah. He writes every day. It's garbage, but he does write every day.
It's just mainly garbage. Simpsons quotes.
Just non-stop.
Brian Adams lyrics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just can't help it. Yeah, cool.
That was a good one.
Nice. That was a long episode.
That was a long episode. That's probably the longest one we've done.
That was an hour, and we're sitting an hour and 3 minutes now.
That's equaling.
That
is equaling.
Very good.
All right. Okay,
cool,
guys. I hope you've enjoyed that.
That's bad.
And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.
If you liked this episode, please subscribe to the Sell Your Brand show on iTunes or your favourite podcast app, and leave a rating and a review. It makes us feel all warm and fuzzy inside when we hear we're not just talking rubbish. If you have a question you'd like us to answer on the show, drop us an email to podcast@sellyourbrandshow.com, and we'll feature it in a future episode.